welcome. It's Alex B and Alpha Human on YouTube on the A Team channel, and today we introduce you something special about Automobilista 2, which is not a DLC but a mod. So it's something that you can install and add to your to the game. So and this mod this mod is really interesting. There is a lot of mods were created by the user. Don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel, by the way, before starting to the subject. But yes, as I was saying about the mod, well, it's really interesting things because mod can simulate a lot of things. It's mostly by the user create, and it's very good. And this mod that we use here right now is to simulate Formula 1 2023. So with the original driver name, when you make a session, a standalone session, when you are online, they will not be the real name. There will be even some funky name. If you want to laugh, read the list and you will find this fun. But this is a funny thing. But the most important is that the Formula 1 high-tech Generation 2 is really fantastically simulated on this one. This is and it's a Formula 1 Ultimate Generation 2, and it's really super simulated. You have really the authentic feeling of it, from the motor till the force feedback till all. So this is really the feeling of Formula 1 Top 23, and here we tested on Spielberg, on Austria, and the Red Bull Ring, and you see it's under the rain. Yes, by the way, we use also real weather. We take the weather 2 days before, and it's really interesting also to mention it. It's a good feature of Automobilista 2, and for the realism, of course, it's super. So you can test on any condition. But of course, the important thing is the Formula 1 Ultimate here, which is on the mod, which is really which is really interesting, because you have in fact every Formula 1 racing team, included even one which doesn't exist for the moment. It's Audi. Yes, because Audi will be included in the future, and it's already ready. So they are really all, including Audi. So you can really use your favorite driver, your favorite car, from Red Bull to Alpha Tauri, or to Alpine, to what you want, and on the, as I've told you, race, on the standalone race, you can control to, for example, Max Verstappen, or to some other ones. Which is very good, you know. And look, even when the name has changed, you can easily recognize who is who, and the skins are really good made enough that, for example, when you change the car, when you test with another car, you will have a totally different thing. Especially in VR, for example, when you sit on your car, you will have a different overall, and with some other color, and the original one of the car of the actual Formula 1. So, which is really interesting. And yes, comparing to the EA game Formula 1 2023, it's really better. First, for the graphic. As you know, Automobilista has really great graphic. Second, because of the parameter and because of the realism. It's the main point of it. Of course, look, you can compare in Spielberg, but it's some other race, for example, Montreal or Monaco or something else. But yeah. Of course, you will not get Las Vegas, for example, but you have most of the major Grand Prix which are there. Most of them, you know. And even some, if you want to use the one of 2020 also, of the Corona time, like Hockenheim, for example, or some other one who were reopened, it's also inclusive. So you can really try anything. Almost every Grand Prix are included, and any skin of any teams. And by the way, in a complement of this, I can recommend you something which give authentic feeling too for Formula One fan is the high-tech collection DLC. It's from 1991 to 1993, and you have really all the. You don't have the real name of the racing teams there, but the reaction of the car are totally other. For example, I have make a test myself, and for example, you will have more stroke force feedback and more different feelings, you know, that are not really included on this one, and so it's a good. You can really compare it and use, for example, the track of 1999 to compare, which is also interesting. And don't forget that to get such a kind of mod, to have such kind of mod on all this kind, don't forget that you can always refer to race department. Race department is really one of the most interesting for all the motorsport game, including Euro Truck Simulator or any other things, to get some mods. So it's really and news too, of course, the latest news of any games. So it's really important to be connected to this, and I recommend it to you because it's really something where you can really learn all and discover all. Yes. And two main points also are really interesting. First, on this new update of Automobilista, it's the large grid. Till 26 people can enter the race, and I must say it's really impressive. And it's included even the safety car, which really works, and really at each yellow flag. Especially when you are on real damage, you have the real safety car too. Of course, you can play with the real rule of Formula One 2023. So the real rule of this time, and which is really authentic. Finally, you can use the real rule like any real driver. So it's really good. And about the AI, they are now much more intelligent because they really they are really been very improved. For example, if you have a crash and you go out of the grass, they also wait a little bit and let you time to come, for example, and don't bump around or have some funky, jerky behavior like it was the early time. Yeah, this was sometimes you were seeing some car jumping out or something like this. But you can set the vibration of the AI in any case, no matter if it's low or high, and it's always make on a very intelligent way. And that has been totally reworked for this update. So it's really a big, important go together for the Formula One part, I must say, of this game. So it's really, really much a better experience. And as I was saying, comparing to the EA official games, I must say this one is more realistic. The feeling is, the graphics, the feelings, all is better. And including in VR, of course, no matter if you are on triple screen or in VR, but in VR it's really much more immersive. Yeah, this is the point. It's you really feel like you sit on this car. And big problem with EA game. In fact, let's say the VR somehow work, but not always work because a lot of things is not always going good, and a lot of people complain about this around internet. And I've tried to test myself because I was curious to drive some Las Vegas, for example. I could never obtain it, so and visibly, a lot of people say there's some rumors that they would maybe. Stop the VR support on further game, which I find error because a lot of new users appreciate more and more VR now. Look, honestly, if you try with a triple screen, you will not have exactly this feeling. It's much more immersive in VR. If you are not if you don't have any illness, it will be perfect, you know. It's the VR is really perfect. And especially with MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 2 also, and also with Pico 4, which are one of the most best ones for the experience. And a very reasonable price. In fact, for the price of a good monitor, you have all this inside and many more. So it's, I find it very interesting. This is my point of view. I know some people love a lot the triple screen and all this, and also if you have a few specs, it's also interesting because you can really make a good setup like this. So not to be not which is a good advantage, of course. Of course, it's a really big advantage. So you see, with the rain, it's really look very realist. Look, it's as I have said for the weather, it's the weather of this location on this special date. For example, if you use a date from the 90s, you will get the weather of the 90s of this time. For example, on this location. Example, you want to make a Grand Prix was take place in April 2020, 2000, for example, you will have the weather of this time, of this location. So, in Brazil, in Spielberg, in wherever you want to drive, it will be always. So, and by the way, if you want more detail about all this, we have already mentioned this on some video, and for this I invite you to go further on our channel, watch and explore, and you will get more video about Automobilista 2, Air Factor, and also a test with Forza Motorsports, yeah, but Forza, and Assetto Corsa also, Assetto Corsa Completion, and also something which nothing to do with the motorsport but with also driving, Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. If you want to relax, by the way, it's a good point. And yes, about Forza Motorsport, yes, we have tried the multiplayer there, but people always bumping and jumping because it's more an arcade game, like Formula 1 finally. I know that you can also parameter EA Formula 1 as, or let's say more normal, but it's not so like this. Here on Automobilista, you have always your safety ranking and the safety count, and any crash count when you are on real crash, any crash count, and any mistake count, like in real, finally. So look, here you see Aston Martin coming, for example, on this picture right now, and it looks really like the one you could see on TV, you see, or on real, you see. And because the skin is in 4K, so finally you really see it like this with the real logo, sponsor, etc. Really all the same feeling. And can't wait until, of course, Le Mans will come soon as a game in February, I think, or something like this. It's also from Reisa, the company of Automobilista. That's why I mentioned it too. So if you are also a sim racer, you will probably love it too, like we wait for it too. Because it's the only things we miss in Automobilista clearly right now. Because don't forget that there is also a new DLC that has come in together. It's historic tracks part 2. So you have some new historic tracks like Spa, for example, but of course still not Le Mans. No, this one not. Le Mans, I can to but you have Imola and you can have Daytona for the American and some other and Monza and many other ones, of course. But as historic one, I don't speak about the modern one. Also the modern, of course, but the historic are really in plus on this DLC. So that's why I also mention it here. By the way, we have made early time on Spa a funny race. If you want to see this video, you can always watch it on this channel. And to show historic one, we have also one about Nürburgring. If you want to watch it too, it's really nice too. But it was with really the old car ones. So and of course it's a nostalgic feeling. And but it's really super to have the real track of this time and the real car of this time. It's really good. And of course, big news to come for all the sim racer. It's a new Assetto Corsa 2, which should come next year. So we just don't wait for this. By the way, I can mention that Le Mans is on Forza Motorsport if you want to test it. But for Forza Motorsport, as you know, it's only an arcade game. And also, unfortunately, weak point, not in VR. So, just to mention this shortly, but yes, of course, you can test it if you want, but yeah. But something is interesting if you want to play really online. It's Air Factor 2, which don't force you to create a lobby or something with your friends. Of course, you can always create lobby with your friends and have fun, but if you want to really confront and contest on online racing, simply use Race Factor 2. And here you have which is brand new. This online function is brand new by Air Factor. And by the way, if you want to have further detail about this function, you just have to explore on our channel, and you will get something about this. So you will get a video where we explain and show. I know Race Factor has maybe not the best graphic, but there is this function, which is really a major one of it. And it's a big concurrent for also, if you know it, the iRacing. Problem with iRacing, you must pay an abonnement for this, and mostly if your level is low, I mean, if you will stay only on Formula V, for example, or a limited choice of car or truck. Yes, a little bit of RX maybe, but not really a lot of things. So, and which is a little bit limited. So, but this is a great advantage of Automobilista 2, which is a sandbox for everyone. And you don't have to buy so much things except some few DLC, and the basic version has already a lot of things. By the way, if you take the season pass of Automobilista 2, you will get soon the part 2 of Adrenaline Pack for the RX fan and Rally fan. So it's also we have made one video about the Rally when it was first out, but you will have the part 2 also, of course. So it's interesting for all the person who love Rally. Of course, there is a lot of fun for this. So this can be also mentioned, of course. So and you see how the Rally look realistic like this? Yeah. When you drive inside, you really feel that your car drift and slide always with the rain, and you have to even drive more carefully and with less speed. Even the AI drive with less speed on this time, like a real driver would do, in fact. So As you know, when there is too much rain, the real driver even can't drive. Of course, you don't see anything, so it's normal. For the security, it's totally logic, by the way. But yes, it's. By the way, I was speaking about Le Mans a little bit earlier, but I have watched a special documentation about the tragic accident in Le Mans, and I must say, it's of 1955. I must say, and the end of the Mercedes participation to Le Mans, and even nowadays they don't participate anymore. And yes, when you watch this docu, you really understand much more why. So for every fan of motorsport, this I can also warmly recommend. It's available on YouTube, so for free, so no problem. But yeah, it's a small recommendation that I give to every fan of motorsport too. Yeah, you see the rain is really heavy here, my god. And yes, here we have some. You see the Ferrari look really like the real one, cause with the 4K skin. So, which means that you really see it like it is, of course, like it will be real, and no matter the weather. But yeah, this weather is really heavy to drive with. And you have I must mention, when you prepare your own server, you can prepare till 4 slots of different type of weather, which means that the weather can always vary during your race. You can start with a bright sun. For example, on the qualifier, you can be under a heavy rain, and then go to the race with a bright sun. Then turn back to some rain, and you have and of course the track will stay wet, so it's also a feeling, you know. Your track is wet, and you must continue. Yes, I must add that the mandatory pit stop is also suppressed, so it's upon you if you want to make a pit stop. Why not? By the way, there is some open window for it, so it's up on you to choose if you make a pit stop or not. You make your race strategy, and you decide if you mind a pit stop or not. It's totally up on you. Yeah, you look at this William together with a Ferrari. What a duel! Yeah, my God. Yeah. This is heavy. You see, sometimes those races look even more exciting than the one you can see on TV. Funny fact. Yeah, of course. Because this is the beauty of it. Of course. And yes, with all those features, you can really have a real Formula One experience. Really. So, and also, by the way, if you are a fan of the 90s Formula One, get the 90s pack with Formula High Tech. And here you have even the 90s track. Of course, the 90s version of any track, for example Interlagos, that we have made on a video. By the way, if you want to see this video, again, explore this channel, and you will find the video about Interlagos in high-tech, for example. So, 90s version, and in the high-tech, which is a first generation of Formula One on the 90s, with a wheel still round, not the one with the button, like the modern one, for example, and many other details like this, and with a strong force feedback, very, very, very strong, yes. This is also more impressive, and yeah, you have another way to drive with it, and it's a new drive experience. It's really a big Formula One experience, yes. So you see, you have a bright choice. No matter if you want race from the past, race from right now, you have all the panel available here on Automobilista. So this is really what is the most important thing that I wanted to mention for the final of this race. Yes, mention that you have all the panel. No matter if you are a past fan, if you are a new fan, you have all the technology, all the feeling, all is on the Automobilista. So just test it and add a comment here to tell us if you like it or not. So don't hesitate to subscribe, like and support this channel if you like this kind of thing, because much more are to come. Bye!